This is the beginning of Volume 2. We're going to take releasing a giant step further. Up to this point, we have been feeling our now feeling, tracing it back to apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride, or courageousness, acceptance, and peace, and then letting it go. As I'm sure you can see, there are tremendous benefits in letting go of your now feeling. What we'll be doing next will greatly enhance your ability to release. In this volume, you'll complete the learning of the release technique. Now, once you have the complete picture, again you will see that this is an even more powerful and effective way to let go of those limitations that control you.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad to see you all here this morning, and welcome back those of you who've taken a few days break with the tape. Whatever benefits you've noticed so far with releasing are about to be greatly accelerated. What we do in the first 4 tapes in the first weekend of the course is we basically show you how to start tapping your natural ability to let go. But what we'll be doing now is really, in these next 4 tapes and these next 2 days, is really developing the release technique. This is the nuts and bolts of what it's all about. Whatever benefits you've received so far and whatever power you've noticed in the release technique, what we do now for the next 2 days or the next 4 tapes is thousands of times more effective. So if you've seen benefits so far, just wait for what's about to unfold. Now, rather than explain a lot about how we're going to be doing something different, what I'm going to do now is work with someone here and just allow you to watch along with them as they're releasing, and you'll start to get a sense of what we'll be doing differently. And it might be someone from this group or it might be someone from another group that we've already previously recorded.
So I ended up with this colitis attack today, I don't know, except that I have had some strong feelings and I haven't given myself time to release on this Judge Thomas Anita Hill thing. It's made me very angry and sick to my stomach, and that's the strongest feelings I've had all week. And I was listening to that this morning, so maybe that's why it was my colon, I don't know.
Let's see if there's any feeling about that now.
Yeah, I'm angry.
Okay.
Just right. About that.
Well, just let yourself feel that now feeling of anger. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Right. Is it a wanting approval or a wanting to control? What was it? You're letting it go. What was it?
I suppose it must have been wanting to control.
Okay.
And as soon as I thought, there's no way you can control that.
I know, just leave. All right. See if there's any more. See if you can become aware of any more of your wanting to control about that situation.
Hey, I can say to myself, I want to control. I don't like this, and it'll all come there.
Well, just look at it, though. Just see. See if there's any more of that wanting to control.
Well, I'm trying to conjure it up, and it won't come.
I know you really did. That was very easy.
Yeah.
All right, so see how you feel now.
I feel okay about it.
Yes.
Till the next time I listen to something.
Well, think of just review, though. Review what you saw this morning. See what you're feeling is better.
Yeah. I've released on it.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, as soon as you saw it was wanting to control, it just released.
Mm-hmm.
You actually held it back a little bit, otherwise you would have released more.
Mm-hmm. See, I should do that. I haven't been doing that. I haven't been asking myself those questions.
I know, because it's the first time I brought it up. Now, I think you'll notice that I did something very different than what we were doing before. The first segment of the course, the first 4 tapes of the first 2 days, and when you're practicing in between, you're letting go, you're getting in touch with what you're feeling in the moment, you're tracing it to the underlying emotion, and then you're letting go of the emotion. Well, every emotion culminates in just 2 wants, the wanting approval and the wanting to control. And as we work this weekend, we'll be working on just those 2 wants. And you see, as you focus on those 2 wants and start to let those go, you'll see that your releasing is greatly accelerated. By the way, something very important. Want equates to lack. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being in control. There's nothing wrong with loving or having approval. The problem is we're always wanting it. And when we're wanting it, we're holding it away. So what we'll be doing is letting go of that wanting approval and that wanting to control. And as we do that, you'll see whatever you've achieved so far with releasing will be greatly accelerated. And you also notice that when I ask the questions, I'll be just saying, could you? Because the would you and the when is really not necessary with approval and control. You'll see as you start to become aware of your wanting approval and control, even more than with the emotions, you'll have a tendency to just let it go. It's like you'll notice you're wanting to control and it will go, and it's just gone. Because it's natural. It's a natural part of us to let go of our wanting approval and wanting control once it's identified. So who else has something they'd like to release?
I've noticed that I'm very judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
and I find myself putting people into stereotypical categories quite rapidly,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like that. I'd like to get rid of that.
Okay. And as you talk about that, just see what feeling it stirs up.
Well, I feel bad at myself for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I want to decide what everybody should do or be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a feeling. Well, it's judgmental. That's
Mm-hmm.
a feeling.
Okay, and where would you put? Fortunately, we live our lives in wanting instead of having. And then we're always denying ourselves a tremendous amount because of that wanting. So if you're willing to start letting go of the wanting, you'll see that you have more and more of everything that you've been striving for so long. The striving is actually keeping it away. So it's important to start focusing on that wanting approval and that wanting to control that's there all the time and start letting it go. And by the way, as we get into working on the wanting approval and wanting to control, you'll probably notice you're starting to have many insights and realizations about your life, about how you've handled things. Please take the time to write them down, because you'll be able to work with those. You'll catch yourself the next time you're in a situation where it's been a long-standing area where you've been really wanting to control it. And because you've written it down and started to focus on it, you remember to release. And you'll see that as you release the wanting approval and wanting to control, whatever situation in your life that's been locked into a certain pattern can start to shift. By the way, when we're wanting approval and wanting to control, we very often don't see that when it's appropriate to take action, when it's not. When we're wanting to control, we're very often acting when it's totally inappropriate, and stopping ourselves from acting when it is appropriate because of that want. The want, again, because that want really equates to lack, we find ourselves saying and doing things that create the lack of approval or create the lack of control. A typical example, of course, is sales. When you're in a sales-type situation, very often it's time to keep quiet, and what do? You start talking because you get uncomfortable with the silence. Your wanting approval comes up, or your wanting to control comes up. You're trying to make them buy something, and then you do the exact wrong thing to make the deal. So wanting approval and wanting to control are getting in our way all the time, and they're always easy to let go of if you decide to.
I've been, one of the things I was working on was this approval and releasing that approval. And people that were close to me, I was releasing approval with those particular people. And a comment this morning, excuse me.
Sorry. Rather than trying to get through the story, just let it come up. Jack, just let it up. Said it's your wanting approval coming up. Could you just let it go?
Yes.
All right, just let more of it come up. Could you just allow it to release?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that some more. Are you aware of the wanting approval?
Very much so.
Okay. Could you allow it to release?
Yes, I can.
Okay, are you aware of more?
Yes.
Is it releasing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, just let yourself become aware of more of it. Releasing.
Slow.
Yeah. Okay, are you wanting to make it go faster? Is there a little wanting it to release faster? Okay. Is that the wanting to control?
Probably.
Did that just release? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, you go ahead and finish talking about it.
Okay.
It might just bring more of it up.
Yeah, what it was I was looking for approval from my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so the difficulty that I was having in releasing with the people I was looking for approval with was the fact that it was deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the approval of two people who I love very dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that this morning.
Right. Okay. So there's some more of it there now, right? Okay. Could you just allow it to release?
Yes.
All right. Just allow yourself to become aware of the wanting approval, and just allow it to release.
Yeah, I'm going through this tingly state.
Okay. How's it now?
Feels much better.
Much better. Still
Much
some
better.
though. Just
Yes.
there's not much left. See if you can just let the rest of it come into your awareness. Just allow it to release. How's it now?
It's leaving.
Good.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, good.
Very, very good.
Terrific. Would you say that's a gain?
Yes, I've already written it down here, but there was on top of that.
Right. Okay. What we'll be doing now is we'll be giving you at home an opportunity to do some releasing as well on this new way, with this new way of releasing. And those of you here, as we've been doing before, it's important to release along. As I'm helping the home viewer, you can be releasing in your chairs. So now just allow yourself, we can start now with a feeling, since that's where we started last weekend. So just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling. It's an apathy, a grief, a fear, lust, anger, pride, whatever it is, just allow yourself to become aware of your now feeling. But take it a little deeper and see if you can just become aware of whether it's coming from a wanting approval or a wanting to control. Could you let go of that wanting approval or that wanting to control? Now just allow yourself to focus inside again and become aware if there's any more of the wanting approval or wanting to control there right now. Could you allow it to release? Could you? Take another look inside and just allow yourself to focus on your now want, whatever it is. Either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. And remember, we're just letting go of the wanting. Could you let it go? Now let's keep going with this a little while longer. Just allow yourself, if you need to, you can think of a specific situation that you've already been working on, that you might still have some feeling about. And let's see if we can start getting in touch with the underlying want that's causing that situation to be a problem. So as you think about that specific situation, just see which want is stirred up in the moment. Now, sometimes it's a combination of both, but see which one you're more aware of. Either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. Could you let it go? And just allow yourself to become aware of more of that wanting in the moment, the wanting approval or the wanting to control. Could you allow it to release? And just allow yourself to become aware of more of that wanting approval or wanting to control. And remember, if you notice that as you become aware of it, you're just letting it go before I even ask the question, or you ask it of yourself, that's okay. That's a normal part of the process. It's natural. So just allow yourself to become aware of whatever you're wanting in the moment, the wanting approval or the wanting to control. And could you let it go? Okay. Now, I think you can see this new way of releasing can be extremely powerful. In just a few releases, you notice yourself getting a lot quieter. But whatever your initial experience is of using this technique, remember, this is just the beginning. It's something new. It might take you a little while to get used to letting go at this deeper level, this more powerful way of letting go. But just be easy with yourself. And also make sure you take time to write down your gains and realizations. You'll start to see a lot as you focus on this wanting approval and wanting to control. And as you can continue letting go of it, you'll start to see that anything is possible.
The Sedona Method has been extremely beneficial in a business sense, in that I am not so fearful, I guess, afraid to approach people, potential clients, about projects or about work. I don't live and die with everything that might possibly come about in the business, in a business standpoint. I can go in much more calmly and speak with people. Again, I don't live or die with their decision. If things work out, fine. If they don't, something else is going to turn up, and it always has. And I find that it's turning up a lot more frequently now than it did in the past. And so it just has given me confidence. I think confidence in myself, in my own ability, and it's paid off.
So we'll be taking a break in a moment, but what I'd like you to do is to use the time to start looking for the wanting approval and wanting to control so you can start letting it go.
Last week I had released on the fact that feelings will instantaneously change my mood and my attitude towards others or towards myself. And I noticed during the week that while that would still happen sometimes, immediately I'd notice it and then I could release that, whatever was going on right then. And that to me was a very big gain because I didn't have to stay stuck in that. So I felt really good about that. That was very nice.
So now we're going to be working on a worksheet in your book, and you will need workbook number 2 for this. So if you haven't got it out already, make sure that you just pull that out. And turn to the page that says Remember at the top. This worksheet is going to help you to start to get in touch with the wanting approval and the wanting to control. And what we're going to do is have you think of specific instances that you wanted approval or that you wanted to control. We have a lot of those in our lives, but there'll be ones that come to mind for you, whether it's last week or years ago. So we're just going to take some time now for you to write down those specific instances. Now that you've written some instances down where you wanted approval and wanted to control, let me just explain how to use this worksheet. What you'll be doing is focusing on that specific time. For example, there's an example here at the party. You'll be thinking of that time and seeing what gets stirred up, which want gets stirred up when you think about that specific time, either the wanting approval or the wanting to control. For instance, the example here says, regarding the party, I wanted them to like me. Well, that would be coming from the wanting approval. And so what you'll be doing is focusing on the wanting approval or the wanting to control, allowing that to release to completion, then checking that off on your let go column, and carrying on until you've let go of all of the wanting approval and all of the wanting to control, until you feel good about that incident. So let's do some work on this together now. So those of you at home, remember to keep releasing along, whether I'm working with somebody here or you're watching somebody releasing from another class.
Yeah, under the approval, I put when I said I had taken a new job, I have to tell everybody about it to see how they feel about it, and I guess that's wanting approval. I feel fine about it now, though.
Did you release it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
why don't you give me another
one? For approval, there's not really a whole lot. I find that I want to control a lot.
Oh, okay, so you're not really, I can't think of one right now, you're having fun.
For approval, not really,
Okay.
For control,
Okay.
when I had to sign a new lease just the other day, I went in there very determined that I was going to get the better of the deal. So I wanted to control the situation. It actually worked out good in my favor, but so I don't know whether that's negative or positive. I wanted to control, and I did.
Yeah. Well, we sometimes get fooled at the wanting to control, doing something positive. But anyway, go see if you can let yourself feel any of your wanting to control. Okay. Could you allow it to release? Okay.
What I find with that, at least that particular situation, I felt good about it, but I also felt kind of pushy about it, too. So,
yeah.
Not that that's really negative, but...
Yeah, well, can you get a sense of any of the pushiness right now?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that the wanting to control?
Yeah.
Did you just release some of it?
That feels really good. Yeah. That's a real drive in me, the wanting to control.
Right.
It feels good to be in control.
Right. And when you let go, have anyone noticed that you feel more in control when you let go of wanting to control? Yeah.
Definitely, there's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Terry.
I'm releasing.
Okay. Moving right along. Did you want to tell us what you're releasing on?
Sure. I'd like to try that. I wrote down 2 things for approval, but I think they stem into just the one. I need my mother's approval about everything, as far as I want her to see me as an adult, you know. And that just about covers it. Just from the time I was a teenager on, that's, well, actually, all my life, I guess. I'm just always seeking that approval.
Okay. And are you aware of some
now? Aware of some, what how do you mean?
Can you feel it, the wanting approval?
I don't know, I've been letting it go the whole time. So,
right. Let's see if there's any left right now of that wanting approval.
I don't know.
Okay. Could you allow it to release? Good. think of your mother again.
I see her smiling.
You see her smiling?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Good. This is really nice.
Yeah, it's, okay, what about the control?
Okay. This was a really trying time for me when we moved.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I was controlling everything, you know, other moves I doing with my folks or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This was, you know, me as an adult, and I guess this is wanting approval also. You know, I want everybody to see me as an adult, but I wanted everything to work in our benefit, to our benefit. I wanted to control everything. Wanted everything to just to go like clockwork.
Right.
It eventually worked out.
Right.
You know, there were some trying times, but
yeah. So see if you can allow yourself to be aware of some of your wanting control.
God. Oh, I needed this 3 months ago. Oh, it feels so light.
Yeah, you just, as soon as you allow it to come into awareness, it just leaves.
Oh, good. Okay. And one other was once we finally got here, neither one of us had a job. Oh, that was really stressful. We only had like $200, you know, and we just paid for rent and everything, so we were good for a month, but, you know, it took me a couple of weeks to find a job. Actually, I take that back. It took me about 3 days. I got a job at Butterfield, but my husband didn't get a job for 6 weeks. So that, you know, even though I had some income coming in, he didn't have any income coming in, and that was really rough. It was a rough time.
So, and then does that stir up your wanting to control?
Yeah.
Can you allow yourself to be aware of some of it now?
Oh, wow.
You just released it, right?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, this is nice.
Great. Now just see if there's any more. Just think of that situation again.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any more?
I just let it go again. It's gone.
Good.
Oh, it feels so much better.
Good.
Thank you.
Take one more check. Just check the situation.
I'm not concerned.
All right,
There's no
great.
more
So
worry.
you let it all go and you probably feel okay.
Yeah,
So you can give
do.
yourself 2 checks.
I think this was something that's been a long ways back, and that's wanting approval from my father.
Uh-huh.
That carries over into other relationships, too.
Right.
And
So are you...
I feel great about it right now. Because I was listening and going through this, and the thoughts went back, and I could visualize my parents sitting where they normally sit most of the day now, and I don't feel like I have their approval, but I also don't feel like it makes a great bit of difference anymore.
That's great. Okay.
I feel good about it.
Good.
Good about it.
Good. Terrific. Now, do you feel loving towards them?
Yes, very much so.
That's the key. When you totally let go of your wanting approval, you feel love. And it doesn't matter what the other person does.
Yes, because I do feel that.
Right. Good. Did you give yourself 2 checks? For letting it all go and feeling okay?
I just did.
Good.
Ignorance control. I've gone through all my life where just work hard. Never worried about anything. And money was always there. Then I reached a stage in my life where money wasn't there anymore. And the frustrations of wanting to control that situation and get it back under control and to handle it. And I feel a greater peace today than I have done in a long time.
Okay. But see if you can become aware of some of the wanting to control relating to that. You just release some.
I think the feeling is you center on it and it slips out real big.
See, the thing is, releasing takes no effort. All the effort that we expend all day long is all the effort that we're expending to hold on. When you go with the river, there's no effort. But when you resist the river, swim upstream, it's a lot of work. So when you stop, when you let go, you just go with the flow. There's no effort. Zero.
See, yesterday I was going through some blockages. And last night through some blockages. And I was forcing, I was pushing,
Is that
it wasn't happening.
Was that some wanting to control the process?
Yes, very much so. And
Okay, see if you can become aware of that now.
it's hard. I can't
Yeah, you
get over
it
it.
already. You just let it go anyway.
I did.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Terrific.
I don't have any of those feelings that I had.
Good. I guess you get 2 more checks.
Yeah, I got those there.
Okay. My approval was just Monday. I held a leadership class, and in the business that I'm in, my husband and I were at the top level of our group, and so it was basically our leadership class that we were holding, and so I was wanting approval from. We're into edifying each other, and so I was wanting approval from people that were there for the job that I was going to be doing in the class.
There it goes.
Anyway. I think I had released quite a bit of that, so.
Okay, just check to see if there's any more. Just put yourself back in that situation and see if you can become aware more of that want. Is it released?
I think it's gone.
Okay, so give yourself. I guess that's a 2-checker. Okay. What was the controlling?
Okay. Saturday night, this also deals with my business. We were planning for the leadership class on Monday. And the person that is directly underneath us in line, it's like a line of people, she gave her opinion of what she felt needed to take place at that meeting, and
There it goes.
oh, I really thought I'd released on that one before, but
It might be a little wet. Oh, that's why you just check.
Anyway. Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, another 2-checker.
I hope you don't mind if I continue to release throughout this.
No, you can. I certainly don't mind.
I don't know. It's so fun this way. It's better than crying.
Yeah.
And those of you at home, just get comfortable and pick something off of your list that either stirred up, a specific time. It stirred up your wanting approval or wanting to control. And when you think of that time, just allow yourself to be aware of whatever want it stirs up. Could you allow it to release? And just see if there's any more of it there. Whichever want it is. Could you allow yourself to let it go? And think of that specific time again. And see which want is there now. Is it the wanting approval? Or the wanting to control? Could you let go of either wanting approval or wanting to control? Just focus on that again, whichever want it was. And could you allow it to release? Think of that specific time again. Just allow yourself to be aware of whatever want is right there now about that. Whatever it is, could you let it go? And just check again. See if there's any more of that want there, or of the other. And could you allow it to release? You're probably feeling a lot better about that time or incident now. So give yourself a check in the let go column and the feel good. Let's just focus on another specific. So pick something else off of your list. Another time that stirred up your wanting approval or wanting to control. And if you're more aware of a feeling there first, that's okay. But just trace it to that underlying want. And now that you're aware of that, could you allow it to release? Just check again. Just allow yourself to be aware of more of that there. Could you allow yourself to let it go? Think of that specific again. And just see what want is there right now in the moment. Could you let it go? And just check. See if there's any more there. Could you allow it to release? Now I'm going to let you continue on your own, but do make sure that you continue to completion. Just making sure and carrying on releasing until you feel good about that specific time, that specific instance. And then make a note of it in your gains book.
Well, this brings us to the conclusion of this tape. And I just want to let you know that if you're still having a little difficulty adapting to the wanting approval and wanting to control, we're in a transition phase. If you see that you slip back to focusing on feelings, or you feel more comfortable identifying a feeling first, don't worry about that. As you practice, you'll see that it gets easier and easier to just go right to the wanting approval and wanting to control. And the more you do that, the faster you'll move. Also, get in the habit of making releasing constant. The more you practice releasing throughout your day, you'll be moving forward more quickly. And also, if the bigger issues come up, if life presents you with a real challenge and you've been releasing that whole day or for a long period of time, and then something unexpected happens, you'll be right there ready to just let go of whatever is brought up. And also, if you notice that you have a tendency to want to kind of slip back to the way you were before, don't worry about it. It's a normal thing. If you remember last week I talked about the fisherwoman, there's also another story that kind of illustrates that. As you can tell, I like to tell stories. But we're in a little way, we're all a little like caged birds. It's again a funny, I guess it's a funny analogy, but what we're doing on these tapes is we're learning we have the key now to get out of the cage. Now, last weekend, we had the cage door open, and sometimes you were probably staring at it going, I don't know if I even want to go out. It's like, I know I can get out of this cage, but I don't know if I want to do it. You might have noticed that this week as you were practicing the technique, that at times, you knew you could let go, and you said, forget it, I'm not going. I'm staying in the cage. I don't care if there's poop this high in the cage. I'm staying here. I'm used to it. And then what happens as you keep practicing with the technique, as you keep letting go, you'll start to fly out of the cage. And you go, wow, this feels really great. But then you go, wait a minute. It's unfamiliar out here. I better go back in. And you'll find yourself rushing back into the cage and slamming the door. But again, that's okay. Again, it's a normal part of the process because you now have the key. The release technique is the key to that cage, the key to open that door. So even if you find yourself running back into the cage, you'll have the key to get out. And as you keep doing it, you'll get comfortable. And you'll say, you know what, enough with the cage. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to allow myself to have the new freedom. I'm going to allow myself to have that imperturbability. So if you notice yourself occasionally going back, don't worry about it. Also, you might have noticed this week, as you've been practicing the technique, that occasionally your friends or relatives got a little nervous seeing you flying outside of the cage. They're going, wait a minute, I'm still in the cage. What are you doing out there? And at times they may even try to do things to get you to fly back into your cage. Now, if that happens, don't worry about it. It's again normal for people around you that first feel a little threatened because, hey, they were used to you being in that little confined box. But as you keep letting go and you keep releasing, you'll see that they'll go, wait a minute, what are you doing? How can I get out of my cage? And they'll want to join you. So just remember to allow it to be easy. Keep focusing on the wanting approval and wanting to control. Practice, practice, practice. Release, release, release. And now let's take a break and give you some time to focus on your releasing.
I remember the first week thinking that, yeah, this is pretty cool. I can handle this. I got control of everything. But once we got into wanting approval, I realized that I've been living my life that way, and it has made all the difference. That was like the missing piece. It was the clue. It was the gas in the car.
It's important to make releasing the two wants a continuous habit. If you want to reach imperturbability, you must make releasing the two wants a full-time activity. The more constantly you release, the faster your life will change for the better. The whole concept of letting go of wants, if shared out of context, can really hold people back. Encourage anyone interested in experiencing the release technique to do it for themselves with their own tapes and workbooks. Make sure you take at least an hour and a half to practice this new way of releasing before beginning the next tape.